Welcome to your morning mental feelings over facts, or should I say facts over feelings. No, I'm just messing with y'all. You know I was out here wearing this mask before they even came with the COVID, so I don't even know what you're talking about. You better recognize. But anyway, we back here with the So Us show, guys. Welcome. We coming back out of What Did He Reveal? The Title and Deeds of the Universe by Rothchild'S Muhammad. Yes, Superman is back. No kryptonite is gonna hold me back. So let's get started. Page 16. By comparing the two photos, these photos from before, y'all missed it, go back and check the last episode, episode 4, on the FBI's big lie exposed. Okay? And numbers, by comparing the two photos, exhibit signatures A to A and numbers B to B verifies the FBI's ineptitude in attempting to classify Wallace Dodd Ford to be Wallace Farad Muhammad. Only a small portion of a revelation was delivered to Black America by him whom embodies the title and deeds of the universe, as foretold by the old prophets. What was revealed to the Nation of Islam, no other nation on earth has claimed before the coming of Allah in the personage of Master W. Farad Muhammad. See Appendix 4. So let's go check that out, family. Appendix 4. Okay, I see 1, 2. Appendix 4, page 70 is on. Body of Allah. In the Indo-European languages, the term personal or person actually mean, in a theological sense, absolute perfection. And I give you the reference for that. I have a reference for it, which is precisely what the Quran really teaches. As one Western writer indicated, Encyclopedia of Islam, but in the Arabic language, the equivalent of person is known as sheikhs. S-H-A-K-H-S. That's what shocks. I guess shocks, more like chakra, I guess. Shocks. In the Arabic language, the term has not undergone the transformation which it did in Indo-European languages. So when you ask a Muslim, you say, is Allah shocks? He'll say, no, because shocks in Arabic has only one meaning: a person, a human being, physical, limited being. This statement is rather incriminating because Badawi forgot to mention, or he may have never read, the hadiths which clearly describe Allah as a shocks. Sa'd bin Ubadah said, if I saw a man with my wife, I would have struck her by the sword with no forgiveness. When this reached the prophet of Allah, he, the prophet, said, are you amazed at Sa'd's jealousy? By Allah, I am more jealous than Sa'd, and Allah is more jealous than I. Because of Allah's jealousy, He, Allah, forbade immorality, whether it is done in the open or in secret. And there is no person, shocks, who is more jealous than Allah. And nothing is more loved by him, by Allah, than to ask for forgiveness. For this reason, he sent the prophets to share the good news and to warn. And there is no person, shocks, who likes a praise more than Allah. And for this reason, Allah promised heaven. Masnad, Ahmad, number 17703. The statement of Muhammad and his followers that there is no shakhs or person that is more jealous over honoring women folk than Allah presupposes that the Muslim deity is a shakhs himself. Otherwise, it would make absolutely no sense to say that Allah is more jealous or has more honor than any other shakhs if he weren't one. Lastly, the last prophet of Islam, Muhammad ibn Abdullah, understood that one day Allah would make himself manifest clearly in human form during what is called the day of resurrection. We see it. O Allah's messenger, shall we see our Lord on the day of resurrection? He said, do you have any difficulty in seeing the sun and the moon when the sky is clear? We said, no. He said, so you will have no difficulty in seeing your Lord on the day, as you have no difficulty in seeing the sun and the moon in a clear sky. Okay. Done with that. Let's go on back. Scooty on back. Rothchild's. Now, the last time we did this video, this bad boy got stuck in uploading. Didn't even do 1%. Maybe this was the reason. But anyway, Rothchild's Red Dragon in heaven. The reason why Bible Revelator 12:1-2, go get your Bible and dust it off, blow it off, or just pull it out. Or pull it out your back pocket, your front pocket, top pocket, wherever you got it. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she being with child cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered, is due to a location of Master Farad Muhammad's birthplace. B, astronomical factors, and C, his parents. To begin, let's deal with the term wonder in heaven, which represents Mecca, Arabia, a city in the land of the old biblical Garden of Eden, otherwise root of civilization. See biblical map below. I'll show it to you. Screenshot it, freeze it, look at it, study it, research it, go back with your scientists, go back with your reverends, your pastors, whoever you got to. But let's get to it and dig in deep. Okay, we got the Mediterranean Sea. We got the Arabian Sea on here. We got the Persian Gulf on here. Tigris and Euphrates rivers. The early Jordan River, Pison River. We got modern Egypt on here. Arabia, Mecca, the whole land of Havala, circular, which is in the circle, which has all those in it, except the Arabian Sea, which is at the bottom of it. Sea of Reeds, the Valley of Eden beneath the Red Sea today. Beneath the Red Sea. I'm thinking, I know it was a valley. I know it was a place where they 40 days and 40 nights, and they like it was the whole world, but really it was in a valley where they had they was living in the valley, and that bad boy got flooded out, you know. And I also know that over there in Egypt, where they buried the kings and queens at. That bad boy got flooded out as well. But let's keep on going. A river watering the garden flowed from Eden. From there it was separated into 4 head waters. River Pishon, land of Havilah, land of gold. River is the Gihon rather, entire land of Cush. All right. We got a modern Cush today. If you don't know about it, I ain't going to tell you about it. River Tigris. It runs along the east side of Ashur. River Euphrates. Genesis 2:10 through 15. Second, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet represents the 1877 astronomical event, total eclipse, or sun standing on the moon, initiating on February 26 and ending on February 27. Go get the Tribune Almanac eclipses in 1877. Google it up. Whatever you got to do, research it. Okay, you can't too much see nothing on this part, but what I'm about to tell you. And fact check. And hope it don't hurt your feelings. In the year 1877, there will be 5 eclipses, 3 of the sun and 2 of the moon. Roman numeral 1, a total eclipse of the moon, February 26 through 27, 1877, invisible at Washington. Third, the 12 stars around the head of the woman's head represented the men of the exalted assembly of Allah, or the 12 holy scientists, imams of Islam. I'm thinking this is the 12 of the 24 scientists. You got 12 major and you have 12 minor, and the one sitting on the throne today is, hey, let's keep going. Aware of his destiny as the ruler or God in person, they protected the mother and child as war was erupting on the Arabian Peninsula by the British Rothschild agents, including zealous Arab tribes under Western influence. See, therefore, the Bible, Revelation 12 said, and there appeared another wonder in heaven. Another one? Yep, here's another one, and another one, another one. And there appeared another wonder in heaven. And behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. And this tells you the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And she brought forth a man child, who was to rule all nations, all women, with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto God and to his throne. A great red dragon represents the Zionist powers of the British Rothschild Trust, whose family shield of protection is, guess what? Red. This color is the coat of arms of the city of Frankfurt, Germany. And that's where the real war is going to start. Like it or not. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. Hopefully, heal them. adapted by Meyer Amschel Boyer, 1744 through 1812. Changing his name from Boyer to Rothschild, Rothschild says it all. It was a lot of them coming over from Germany, coming over here to help America. America defeated them. I know y'all been experimenting, so we want to learn from y'all scientists. So y'all come over here, but we got these Germany names. That's all right. We'll change it up. What you gonna change? I'll change mine to Rothschild. What you gonna change yours up? I'll change mine up to let me see, Rockefeller. What you gonna change yours up? And so on. Says it all. This Caucasian family financed the first 1814 British settlement in Aden, Arabia, the biblical land of Havilah. Their settlement inside the Holy Land placed the great red dragon. You mean you called a great, they called him a great red dragon in heaven. Later, certain Arab tribes fulfilled the revelator's prophetic words, and its tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven and did cast them to the earth. This third part of the Holy Land mentioned above represents the tribes of the Nejd area of Arabia, Nejd. You know, I can butcher a name quick, especially if I ain't never heard of it before. The Najd, or Nejd, is a geographical central region of Arabia that alone accounts for almost one third of the population of the country. Okay, Najd is right here by Mecca and Aden. Okay, you got that? Get it? You got it? Bam. Let's keep going. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Today, Najd consists of modern administrative regions of Rajad al-Qasim and Halil. Centuries before the British Rothschild settlement in Aden, the last prophet of Islam, Muhammad, with an O, Ibn Abdullah, referred to the leaders of the, Najd as the side of the head of Satan. The side of the head of Satan. In other words, one who follows the advice of Shaitan. How were these prophetic words fulfilled thereafter? Tell me, since you know so much, you tell me that. How were these prophetic words fulfilled thereafter? Any takers? Let me look at the comments. The Al-Shad family and the head of the Anazar tribe, Abdul Aziz Muhammad, were protected by British soldiers in Jeddah, Arabia. So, in 1788, an Arab leader, namely Abdul Aziz Muhammad, joined his military forces with Rothschild British forces. They began attacking the Islamic leadership of Mecca, Arabia, to establish a new brand of Islam called Wahhabism. Subsequently, by 1791, the Red Dragon, British Rothschild Trust, gained access into Medina, Damascus, Iraq, and Kuwait, along with the Wahhabi Abdul Aziz. The war that was taking place in heaven, Holy Land, was about overthrowing the holy precincts of Mecca, Arabia, and its ruling political family. The last descendants of Prophet Muhammad bin Abdullah. He was basically under the protection of the Ottoman Empire at this time in history. By 1818, the Ottoman Turkish Empire's Islamic Khalifa Ibrahim Pasha was able to gain the upper hand in the battle to keep Mecca out of the evil British Rothschild control. What did I say? Evil British Rothschild control. For the moment, the Ottoman Empire held off the Wahhabi British Rothschild agenda. You know what they be doing with their agendas when it come around the world, you know what I'm saying? Eating babies and killing babies. And man, you can't be over here eating babies and killing babies and doing all this stuff and talking about boiling Jesus and things of that. Y'all got to go, man. All y'all got to get up on that. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up on up out of here. You got to get out of our country, man. You got to take Becky, Brittany, Billy Bob, gone, him for the whoop. You done got to go. 100 places. You got to go from here too. You got to go. Seem like it got to the point they ain't got to say nothing. Oh, we got to go. Got to go. Okay. Let's get back to it. For the moment, the Ottoman Empire held off the Wahhabi British Rothschild agenda. Medina, Damascus, Iraq, and Kuwait was spared for the moment. Of course, the British Rothschild protectorates lived for another day. Eventually, after regrouping in 1864, tribal warfare on the Arabian Peninsula erupted again for the worse. It was Arab versus Ottoman Empire versus the British Rothschild. Their aim had not changed. Overthrowing Mecca's holy precinct was their ultimate agenda. Year 1877, 1293, Islamic calendar. So, now we shall conclude the reality behind the biblical revelator's cryptic warning using these words. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And she brought forth a man child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto God and to his throne. Here, the earth is God's throne. Is God's throne floating in space around the sun every 365 days of the year. Although tribal warfare and death was riddling the Arabian Peninsula, Mecca in 1877 had not yet been harmed due to the war. Fortunately, Mecca was still protected by the military of the Ottoman Empire and governed under Hussein ibn Ali al-Hashimi, the 37th generation direct descendant of Prophet Muhammad. Unbeknownst to mankind, the woman with child mentioned by the Bible revelator was able to give birth to the said man child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, caught up unto God, not man, caught up to God and his throne. All right. On February 26, 1877, although surrounded by warfare and enemies, the child was born. You ask, who that woman with child was, and who was the father of such a child? Well, we'll be getting back with that next time on page 25. And until then, family, keep your heads up, stay focused, and read. All right? We don't need no music. Peace.